Welcome, everyone, to another SlabStox Live. We are here on May 23rd, 2022, and we're excited to be here. So I'm Nate. Usually I'm not leading these. Usually it's Aaron. Aaron is out with some medical issues today, so it is Nate leading this. And we are here with SlabStox Julian. Julian, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited on my first live stream.
Yes. So Julian is an intern of ours, and he does get the joy of coming on here with me and doing an entire hour of SlabStox Live. So I know you're used to Aaron and my banter back and forth, Aaron's intelligence and my stupidity, but today you'll get a little bit of my stupidity mixed in with some amount of me trying to be intelligent and then Julian's intelligence. So
There you go.
without further ado, welcome everyone. Welcome Gabriel. Welcome Matthew. Yes, I was a minute late. My bad on that one. But for good reason, Aaron wasn't here to corral us in. So we blame Aaron and we move on. But you can see here, episode 83, off-season opportunities. But before we get into that, we are going into... Oh, yeah. I can flip the background. 1 second.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
that's Aaron, isn't it?
That is Aaron. He must be
Shout out Aaron.
Alive and well. Good to know. So, before we get into that, hey, what's up, Tech? What's up, Cloud Coo? What's up, Matthew? All you guys. So, before we get into that, we are going on to the PWCC weekly auction recap. And so, Julian put up this post today, and you have a choice. You have to choose one card from each section. You've got a 5K section, a 1K section, and a $100 section. And these are all cards that sold on weekly auction number 18 this past Sunday. And you can see here, it's a give or take within a couple hundred, about $500, I believe, for the top 5K section. Give or take maybe $100, couple hundred, maybe $200 for the next section. And then for the $100 one, it's probably give or take 10, 20 bucks somewhere in there. So you get to choose one from each section. The 5K section, we've got Marvin Bagley, 101 Prism 101 BGS 95, a Justin Herbert Contenders Rookie Auto BGS 95, and a Alexander Ovechkin Young Guns from 2005 Upper Deck PSA 10. The 1K section, we've got the Messi 2018, correct?
I think, yeah, 2018, yeah.
2018 Champions League Refractor BGS 95. We've got the Yordan Alvarez 2018 Bowman Chrome Purple Auto number 250 BGS 95, and the 2018 Select Tie-Dye Concourse Level Tie-Dye number to 25 of Jalen Brunson PSA 10. And then the $100 section, we've got a Jalen Hurts Mosaic Silver PSA 10, a Obi-Wan Kenobi Topps Chrome X-Fractor. I don't know what it's numbered to. SGC 95.
I think it's 99.
99. All right. And then the Prism Base Mbappe from 2018 Prism PSA 9 World Cup. So those, and the Messi is the variation. All right. So then this is what we want to know here, Julian. If you had to choose one from each level, what are you going to choose? And then I'll give you my choices.
Okay. For the 5K, I think I definitely have to go with Herbert. I mean, I love him. Great QB. I think he's going to have a really good season coming up. Then I got to go with the Messi because I'm a soccer guy, and I think that's a pretty cool card. And then lastly, I would probably go with the Jalen Hurts probably because a little bit more of a risky one, but I think with A.J. Brown coming in and a bunch of the offseason stuff, it's kind of like a make or break season for him, and I think he's going to step up and perform.
I like it. The same reason you chose him would be the same reason I wouldn't choose him, because it's a make or break season, and I'm just not willing to invest in Jalen Hurts. But for me, 5K, obviously the Marvin Bagley is just off the table automatically. The person that spent 5K on him, insane. You've got Cade Cunningham, obviously. And I like the idea of potential there, but not for 5K.
Yeah.
because you've got Cade Cunningham, you've got Sadiq Bey, who put up a 50-point game at the end of the season, so he's able to score and going to get touches. And you also have the 5th overall pick, whoever that might end up being, along with numerous other young players that are interesting, and Marvin Bagley is one of those guys. I just think there's almost too many pieces for Marvin Bagley to shine, and $5K for him is insane. So then it's down to the Ovechkin and the Herbert. From there, I don't know anything about Ovechkin outside of the fact that he's one of the best NHL players of all time. So I have to go Herbert. I've seen a ton of stuff. I saw Corey Linsley, the Packers' former center, talking about him and saying how he is one of the top quarterbacks he's ever seen, and he played with Aaron Rodgers. He liked him to Aaron Rodgers. I've seen a couple other posts recently talking about how Justin Herbert had like the best start to an NFL career ever. So for me, it's definitely the Herbert also. Next is a tough choice because obviously Jalen Brunson's been hot. This is the lowest numbered card out of 25. He's been hot. The prices are high, but he is a free agent, and there is potential. I saw that he might go to somewhere like the Clippers with a healthy Kawhi and a healthy Paul George. You add Jalen Brunson in there. That becomes a really interesting card. He might resign with the Mavs, but I think risk-wise, I would be taking the Jalen Brunson. Yordan Alvarez, I don't think anybody ever invests in DH. And Messi, if you're buying the Messi, you're being really safe, right? That's the safe card to buy here.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm going Jalen Brunson. And then for the $100 level, I'm buying the Obi-Wan because there is an Obi-Wan card coming out here, or show coming out here in May, and I'm trying for the quick flip.
That's a good move. Yeah, I thought about that too. But then also with the Brunson, I was split between the Messi and the Brunson because he's been playing super well too. I mean, like Luka and him have been just carrying. I feel so bad for the two of them because like they're very good players. But yeah, I don't think the Mavs have much of a shot against the Warriors. So hopefully he resigns because if he ends up leaving, then that's going to be even worse for Luka. But yeah, I think that's a cool card.
So I appreciate you saying that. And so Julian is Herbert, Messi, Hurts. I am Herbert, Brunson, Obi-Wan. And for everybody out there, if you want to get in your choices really quick before we go on to the polls to see what everyone pulled, Tech is here, and he's got Herbert, Messi, and Mbappe. So he's on that soccer train, clearly, or football train, Foley, if you want to call it football instead of soccer. Aaron is Herbert, Messi, and Obi-Wan. A lot of love for that Messi for sure. Asian Punk definitely wants Obi-Wan, which I agree with. And Gabriel says Yordan all day. So he's the first person to choose the Yordan. But if anybody else wants to get their picks in real quick before we move on. Yes, Joshua says Ovechkin, Messi, and Hurts. So interesting. Ovechkin. See, the problem for me, I don't know about you, Julian. I just don't. I've watched one NHL game in my entire life, and it was live in Vegas this year.
Yeah. I also don't follow hockey that closely. I know the big names, and I've watched a couple games in the playoffs this year because a bunch of my roommates are into it. But yeah, I couldn't tell you much about it.
So it is what it is. But if you like hockey, I'm sure you'd choose Ovechkin over these other two guys because obviously Ovechkin has been there and done it for his entire career. And you're kind of hoping that Herbert has an Ovechkin type career in football,
Yeah.
And Bagley is just, you're buying a 101 at that point. All right. Well, let's look at the polls. And so for the 5K section, we got Bagley with a measly 8%. Herbert getting the 61%, so they pretty much agree. They agree with us. And then Ovechkin, pretty respectable 31%. I'm not shocked by that. It's definitely more people know football, and Herbert's the top young name in all of football pretty much. So not shocked by that at all. I am actually kind of shocked that Bagley got 8%. Must have been a Pistons fan.
That was the same with me. I thought that was going to be 0. I got to also shout out Matthew in the comments. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nate also knows. He actually knows a lot more than me, but shout out Matthew.
I don't know if I know a lot more than you, but maybe I can talk people in circles and get them to forget what I've said so that they don't actually,
That works as well.
All right. So the 1K section is 52% messy. Got a lot of football fans in here apparently. Alvarez, and this is kind of shocking to me. Jordan Alvarez with 36% of the vote, which is surprising because Jordan is obviously one of the top bats in the MLB, like without a doubt, one of the top bats in the MLB. And yet, because he's a DH, part-time outfielder DH, people don't really spend the amount of money they should spend on a bat like his. And so for me, I thought for sure Brunson would be higher here. And obviously he's coming off of a hot finals and his prices are up, which, obviously is not the right time to buy. If a guy's prices are high, sell, buy later, which, makes it stupid for me to choose Brunson, but I'm betting on him going to a different team and prices rising from there.
Yeah,
But
the upside's definitely there, and he had a good regular season, but this playoffs he's been unreal. So I feel like there's a lot of upside, especially if he moves to a team like the Clippers.
Yep. If you can do it in the playoffs, you can do it anytime. We just watched the Bucks without Chris Middleton. We watched the Bucks bench disintegrate into dust before our very eyes when having to take on a larger load. And then you get a guy like Jalen Brunson that you're not really expecting anything out of, and he elevates his team along with him. Yeah, I like that, and I'd be willing to bet on that type of guy. And then lastly, the $100 section, and we've got 30% for Hertz, 22% for Kenobi. Apparently, people are just not in tune with the Disney Plus release schedule. And then 48% for Mbappe, which is shocking to me. And Julian, you can tell me if you agree or disagree. But we're in the middle of base cards going down in price, and just being, a disappointment investment after disappointment investment because of inflation and all the other stuff happening in the world. You got 48% of people choosing a base card.
Yeah,
I did not see that one coming.
I didn't either. I thought that was super high. I threw that one in there because Mbappe he just re-signed with PSG. It was huge news because everybody thought he was going to go to Madrid. But I'm with you, Nate. It's a base card. I wouldn't go anywhere near a base card. Of course, some other people might be interested in that. Some people consider it as rookie card, but it's 2018. But yeah, so I was kind of surprised at how high that was as well.
And Dean Mark says Brunson is a third option type of guy, example Tobias Harris. And yeah, that's a fair assessment, but you can make money off a third option type of guys. But that is fair. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder when you've got bigger names in front of you to make money off of that third fiddle. So I agree, but I don't know. Maybe it's the tie-dye that really gets to me because I do like a good select tie-dye.
Yeah.
World Cup coming up. World Cup and resign hype. And then Nate, how excited are you for the upcoming World Cup? And if I had to put a number between 1 and 100 on how excited I was for the World Cup, it would be settling around a number 1.
There you go.
So look, I'm getting a little bit more into soccer, but it's still not exactly my cup of tea. I still don't understand it fully. I'm trying, but if there is baseball on, if there is basketball on, if there is football on, if there is golf on, I'm watching that first before I'd be watching the World Cup.
Yeah. I disagree, but of course.
And yes, of course you would disagree, but teach their own, right? That's why
everyone is entitled to their own opinions.
Yeah. And that's why the card market is great. You can buy what you love, and you guys love soccer. Aaron loves soccer. He told me to buy into Mbappe when it was like $2 a Prism base card. I said, nah. And he made lots of money, and I made diddly squat. So, buy what you love.
And he gets to hold that over you the rest of your life.
Yes, he does. I hope he doesn't, but yes, he does. I hold it over myself more than he holds it over me because I'm still like, wow, I can't believe I did not take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, that is the end of our PWCC section. So that means let's move on to our main section of the day, and that is the 3K budget game. So here are an off-season edition. Here are the rules for everyone, and you guys can play along, or you can judge our picks here. The rules are you can't pick a sport that is in season, aka baseball, aka F1, aka golf, and you can't pick teams that are currently playing. So, like, you can pick basketball, but you can't pick Luka. You can't pick Jalen Brunson. If that makes sense. You can't pick Steph Curry because they're still playing. Other guys are in their offseason in basketball. Some guys are not. Other than that, we each picked 6 cards. We had a 3K budget. We had to fit within the budget. And as best as possible, we tried to come up with comps previously and reasons why. So we'll each explain our reasoning here. And I think that's about it. Got anything to say before we start?
No, I think you covered it. Hopefully, the comments like mine better, but you never know.
We'll see. We'll see. They might. They might. I did like some of your cards in there, so I was a little bit jealous on some of them. Well, we will start with my number one, and my number one is Justin Herbert. And for the exact same reasons I liked the Contenders auto, I like this Prism Orange PSA 9. Number one, Prism color graded already. All good things. Justin Herbert, been seeing a ton of things about him in the news. Best start to his career. Corey Linsley equating him to Aaron Rodgers. People expecting him to blow up in his third year. All sorts of things. So while this is higher, May 22nd, 2022, auction for $831 compared to last November when it sold for $610. This is $220 higher, but I'm willing to pay that for the sake of getting color of a premium quarterback. If this was a PSA 9 of Patrick Mahomes, the price would be, probably like $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. The fact that you can get this for $830 for an excellent quarterback who could be winning as many Super Bowls as Patrick Mahomes has in the next 2 years, I'm all on board with that. And so of my $3,000, I've used $831 for Justin Herbert.
I like that pick, Nick. I like that. I mentioned earlier too about a little bit about Justin Herbert on the auto. I mean, I really like him as a quarterback, and I remember that first game where he came on. I think it was against the Chiefs, last minute starting because Tyrod Taylor, they had the whole medical fiasco. So he came on, and I was super impressed because I had heard of him and I knew he was like a decent quarterback. But yeah, ever since then he hasn't really stopped, and they've upped their defense too with Khalil Mack in a bunch of different areas. So it's going to be a fun division to watch.
Yeah, and to be fair, the biggest risk here is not Justin Herbert, but the other quarterbacks he has to go up against. Derek Carr got better with his best friend, Devontae Adams. Patrick Mahomes got worse, losing Tyreek Hill, but he still is Patrick Mahomes. And obviously, the Broncos got Russell Wilson. So, it's one of those things. Also, Matthew says almost a third of the budget on one card. Curious to see your other picks. Yes, so some of the cards were going to be more expensive, some of the cards less expensive. It's all part of the fun here is figuring out how to dole out your money.
Matthew,
and no, we did not.
Wait until you see mine. Mine's more expensive than his, so
It's
and
true.
we did not really buy the cards. You should ask Aaron to let us do that. So that'd be a good thing to do.
I agree. We should both be given $3,000 budgets to spend. But we move on. So my number one pick on to Julian's number one pick.
So I went with Lamar Jackson, a little bit more expensive of a card. Hits his gold RPA from Select. Me personally, I've always kind of liked Lamar Jackson, and I feel like a lot of his cards are kind of low right now. He had that crazy MVP season. He also had a solid season to follow that up, and I know last year the team as a whole struggled because they had a bunch of injuries. He wasn't completely healthy the entire season. But I'm anticipating him to come back and be very strong this season, especially considering that instead of trying to get an extension. He's going to play his final year of his rookie contract. So he's ultimately betting on himself. So I feel like that's going to be a big component. He knows he has some stuff to lose if he doesn't come out strong. And I think it's at that point where he had a bit of an off season, and I think he's going to come off really strong. But there is a little bit of risk with this card, considering his wide receiver room is not the strongest. I don't understand why they traded away Marquise Brown, but still, I think his cards have a lot of room to grow, and they were some pretty high prices, and I've been surprised at how much they've dropped. So I mean, off season's a great time to pick up, and yeah, I just really like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Now, one thing to point out here, PSA 9 is the one value,
Yeah.
2,500, and this is a non-PSA 9 for 1,225. Likelihood is that if this card is not graded yet,
Yes, that's part of the reason too. Yeah.
it is not a PSA 9.
Yes.
Might not even be a PSA 8, because I feel like somebody would probably take a PSA 8 in this grade if they thought it could get a PSA 8. So we don't know what the condition of this card is, but you can safely assume that it's probably a PSA 7 or something below. That
Yeah.
being said, still an insanely nice card, and everything you said about Lamar Jackson, I agree with. I am very excited to see him healthy, the Ravens healthy, and to play, because they are a very good team, despite their lack of weapons last year. You know, Mark Andrews is obviously a stud. Marquise Brown was good. I don't think I would put him in the upper echelon or the upper echelon or anything of wide receivers in the NFL, but he was a solid NFL wide receiver. I'm excited to see what he can do if healthy, and J.K. Dobbins is healthy, Mark Andrews is healthy, and go from there.
Yeah.
All right. My number 2 pick is a 2012 Contenders Kawhi Leonard auto. BGS 9.5 with a 9 auto. Keep that in mind. I'm actually kind of shocked that it got a 9 auto, because that auto looks pretty stinking good down there. There's a little bit of a line in the K, but otherwise everything else looks pretty healthy. And we'll go through the prices first, and then I'll give my reasoning here. So this sold for $581 the other day, May 14th, 2022 on auction. So I'm up to $1,412 total. You can see BGS 9.5 with 10 autos. One sold $700 on October 3rd, and one sold $1,100 on April 20th, 2021, about a year and a month ago. So, you know, Kawhi Leonard's market is down because of injury, but that's kind of why I like it. I don't know how much the BGS 9 should factor in for price difference between the $700 and the $581. But I don't know where I was going with that. But just keep that in mind, because it is a BGS 9, so there is a drop in value there between this $700 and this $581. That being said, Kawhi is coming back. Paul George will be healthy, and who knows who the Clippers might get in the offseason. But a healthy Kawhi is still going to be an amazing basketball player. Yeah. And I think that after having watched Jimmy Butler and the Heat do what they did in this offseason and watch Jimmy Butler cards pop off, I'm kind of like, all right, who's the next vet? Who's the next vet that's kind of slept on, kind of forgotten about because of different reasons? And how can I capitalize on that? That leads me to Kawhi. Injuries. Clippers have been disappointing. He comes back and is healthy, performs really well. I don't think there's any chance that this card stays at $581.
Yeah, I think this is a really, really good pick. No brainer, because he's a very good player, and like you said, he's coming off that injury, and a lot of cards dropped quite a bit because of that. And I mean, you see from the other prices, like I feel like it's almost a guarantee that that card is going to go up. And he's just a machine. He's insane on the defensive and offensive end. So I should have thought about this, but I really like this pick.
Julian, you realize you're supposed to hate my picks.
Oh, right. Actually, a terrible pick. Not
and
a
then
good pick
convince other people that you are, in fact, the better
Okay,
pick.
I'll hate on one of the other cards. All right. Good.
That we're in a competition, remember. We're not little league
Sorry, I'm getting a little
baseball.
too friendly. I'm getting a little too friendly.
There we go. All right, Julian's number 2 pick, absolute trash. You want to explain it?
Yeah. I knew I'd get a little heat for this one. Now, hear me out, right? This is
I
a little bit more of a risky pick on my end, but I have a suspicion that Donovan Mitchell might be on his way out of the Jazz. They could potentially trade him this offseason. It's pretty well known that he's unhappy. The Jazz cannot seem to make it far in the playoffs at all. And there's a little bit of tension between, or reportedly tension between him and Rudy Gobert. And when I break it down, if you take both of them and you trade away Rudy Gobert and you keep Donovan Mitchell, I feel like he's still going to want to leave even after that. I don't think there's much that you can do to convince him to stay. And I think Rudy Gobert is more than happy in with the Jazz right now. So this is more so banking on the fact that he's going to move soon. So I think that it would give it a big spike. I mean, he's a very good player, but I have a feeling that they might move on from him because also Rudy Gobert brings his great defensive presence. And if you get rid of that, I feel like that's harder to replace than a player like Donovan Mitchell. But Nate, you can step in.
Well, a couple things. One, as a Kansas fan, I have to mention that they do have as Aduka Azubuike behind him. So
Okay.
Big Doke is 7'1" with a 7'6" wingspan, and he's 285 pounds of pure muscle. I do think that if there was a team that could cover that defense, at least the in the paint defensive presence, I think Big Doke could handle that. Now, getting out on the wing and being able to help out with smaller defenders or smaller offensive players, that's not going to happen from Big Doke. So, there is that. That being said, I like this because I do think when you're looking for guys, you should always be looking at the trade market because we see it every year. Dude is rumored to be traded for months. People don't buy in. Guy gets traded. People buy in every sport constantly. And so if you do think that Donovan Mitchell might be on the move, and we'll see. Obviously, there has been rumors about their unhappiness for a couple of years, and they've been underperforming. And how many times can you underperform in the playoffs before one of your stars decides to leave? If it was Rudy Gobert, I don't know how many people just want to take on that contract for a defensive first center that catches lobs and might have a small offensive game inside, but he's not stretching the floor by any means. So it's definitely, if you're looking for value as the Jazz, it's you're trading Donovan Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
At least in my mind. And so it is likely that if they were looking to maybe not completely blow it up, but restructure a little bit, it would be Donovan Mitchell that you are moving.
Yeah.
And then you go from there. So we'll see. But I do like that idea because the Jazz are a small market. They're kind of a West Coast team that nobody really pays attention to because they're a little bit boring and they're from Utah and all that stuff. If they trade him to a team that would be a New York Knicks,
Yeah.
somebody like that would want him in there. If he goes to the Knicks fans are going to go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've heard lots of rumors of that. I mean, they've thrown out the Hawks as well, the Heat. I mean, I don't even know why the Heat would want to do that. And even with the Hawks, I feel like that would be a little bit interesting, but I do like the Knicks scenario. But yeah.
And the Knicks and Tim's Giants, Tim's San Francisco Giants meme agrees Donovan to the Knicks, and it's just one of those things where if there's a star, they're connected to the Knicks constantly.
Yeah. True.
So
True.
we'll see. He is only 6'1", not a great defender. So you are going to there's some teams where you're like, would it be fun to watch him and Lucas score on offense? Sure.
Yeah.
Would that be a terrible defensive match for the Mavericks? Yes. So there's certain teams like that you could completely count out. But any team that needs a star and is willing to pay for it, Donovan Mitchell will be on their radar.
Yeah. Jay says Donovan Mitchell to the Lakers. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know what the Lakers would trade here. They could re-sign Russell and then trade him to the Jazz. I bet they'd be down for that.
I mean, you got to have salaries to match, right? So,
Yeah.
uh,
Russell Westbrook to the Jazz.
I I don't know. I don't know what to make of Russ, but he's got to go to a team that has no potential but needs a star to get people in the stands,
Yeah.
essentially, which would have been the Wizards, except they
The
traded him
Wizards,
away.
exactly.
Except they traded him away. All right. My number 3 is Bukayo Saka, 2020 Immaculate Rookie out of 99 PSA 9. So this sold on May 8th on auction for $436. And one of the more expensive ones I could find within the last couple months sold auction on January 3rd, 2020 for $535 non-graded. So I will take the graded PSA 9 copy of a thick card. So PSA 9 is a good grade for $100 less 5 months later. And then bet that the next Premier League Arsenal retools a little bit. They're young guys, him, Emil Smith Rowe, and blanking on the name here.
Gabriel Martinelli.
Gabriel Martinelli take a step forward, and they become a top 4 Premier League team. And it will be because of Bukayo Saka. They get into the Champions League, and then this $436 Immaculate base number 999 PSA 9 is, I don't know, $700-800.
Yeah. I mean, Saka's a very good player. I know at the beginning of the season, Arsenal was at the lower half of the table, so there weren't much hopes for them. And then they turned it around a lot. Kind of devastating for the Arsenal fans that they needed not even like a miracle to make it in. They were so close to making it in, and then lost those games that were really tough. But I can't really talk as a Manchester United fan. But yeah, if they're able to retool some stuff like you said, and then come back next year and start off the season a little bit stronger, I'm sure that they might be able to make it the Champions League for the season after. Now, that's a big if. Arsenal seems to screw stuff up a little bit, but so does United. So we're
But
kind of in the same boat.
they're also really young.
Yeah.
Their top guys, their top young players are all 21 and under.
Yeah, that's definitely something that Arsenal has going for them, and they're trusting their young guys. It's not like they're on the bench all the time and they have some academy players. It's the fact that they're trusting them, putting them in the games, and then they're getting a ton better. So I think that's a great thing they've got going for them.
And you get a ton better, and you get 5th in the Premier League. You take that confidence in the next year. When I became an Arsenal fan, hand up, I was not an Arsenal fan all year. I asked people who I should become a fan of, gave the stipulations I needed to be met, and they all said Arsenal. When I became a fan, they were like 11th or 12th in the Premier League table.
Yeah.
And then after that, they won like 8 matches in a row. And just one of those things where, they could have stayed down there the entire season, but they fought and they clawed their way up. And yeah, they were in 4th at one point. They ended in 5th. But if you don't have a bad start to the season like they did this past season, like you brought up,
yeah,
there's no chance they don't get 4th.
Yeah.
It was that bad start. So I believe that they will come out and they will have confidence next year, and there won't be a bad start.
Let's hope so.
So, all right. Next up is Julian's number. Oh, wait. And I never, my total number here is $1,848 through 3 cards.
Okay. My third one's a basketball one. Tyrese Haliburton, another young guy I think is super good. I know he's not on the best team right now with the Pacers. It'll be interesting to see the Pacers do any offseason moves guys like Miles Turner.
They do have the 6th pick.
Yes, 6th pick as well. But I think the Kings were crazy trading him away. I liked him on the Kings, and he's only upped his game since being on the Pacers. And I mean, I love those contender ticket autos. And I feel it sold what is that, $345 on February 17th, and then it's at $275 May 22nd. So I feel like that's a card that should be valued higher. And I just really like him as a player. So I don't know if that would be like a couple months type of flip, but I feel like if you held on to that, especially with like towards the end of the season, he was dropping 20 plus consistently. I just really like him, and he's got a ton of raw talent. And I think if the Pacers happen to somehow do like make some moves and have a strong team, then he would be definitely one to watch out for.
I like it. I was pretty jealous. I was pretty jealous of this pick because I would have picked Tyrese Haliburton on this list if you hadn't beaten me to it. And for me, dude averaged 19 points and 10 rebounds when he got traded to the Pacers. 19 and 10 out of a 21-year-old. He's from Milwaukee, or Wisconsin anyways. So, we love the guy. They've got the 6th pick. I could see them going. The rumors are Keegan Murray from Iowa to them. That interests me just from the standpoint of Tyrese Haliburton, Iowa State, Keegan Murray, Iowa. Two both very good shooters. Haliburton has the ball in his hand. He can facilitate. If you have a Miles Turner still there that can also facilitate, 10 assists match should be pretty easy. If he can step that up and become like a 21 and 10 guy, 2 more points a game, I think a lot more people take notice through a full season. Like 19 and 10, people are like, he's not scoring 20 points a game. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But then you get to 21, something like that. I do think that is a barrier that needs to be crossed. And then people are like, oh, Tyrese Haliburton, absolute stud. And if they get a guy like a Keegan Murray, they keep a guy like a Miles Turner around that can only help. And so I'm hoping for it. And I really love this pick. And I really like Tyrese Haliburton. What he showed, spectacular. All right. And your total is 26-27. So you only have, through 3 cards, you only have $373 to play with.
Yeah. Got a couple cards left. Might have gone a little heavy on the first couple cards, but the rest of my cards I still feel are very strong. So yeah.
All right. Well, we will move on and see what else you got. My number 4 is Brad Beal. I love Bradley Beal. I can't get away from Bradley Beal on my fantasy teams. And so for me, a 2012 gold standard 2-color, beautiful patch, auto numbered to 10. I'm on that all day long. $500 for this card. Felt like an absolute steal. Bradley Beal, obviously, he has not signed an extension with the Wizards yet. There are rumors that he is going to. I'm kind of betting that he either A, doesn't and gets sent somewhere else, or B, does, stays healthy. A couple of the young guys progress and they become a playoff team, because 2 years ago he was amazing. Last year he was not healthy. If he stays healthy and performs like he can at the age of 29, something like that, or gets traded, I like either of those situations, especially for an out of 10 with a nice patch. Bradley Beal, rookie from Gold Standard RPA. Like $500. Yeah, take my money.
Yeah. Steal. I mean, I love Bradley Beal as well. And ever since John Wall's been gone, I mean, he's been the guy, and he's popped off multiple occasions. I know last season was kind of rough for him a little bit. And I remember I was so shocked. They started out the season, like the Wizards started out the season pretty strong, because I think the Bulls were like first and the Wizards were like second for the first like week or two. And I was very shocked, but yeah, it kind of went downhill from there for both teams. But yeah, I think he might have to move teams for his cards to see a lot of growth. I do think he's super undervalued in the market. I feel like a lot of players are. So $500 for this card is definitely a steal. I love him as a player, but yeah, the only concern would be like, how would that card grow, especially if the Wizards didn't become a playoff team and he decided to stay there.
Correct. And therein lies the risk.
Yeah.
If he decides to stay and they don't progress forward and he's just a high volume, high percent, a high scorer, high volume player on a bad team, there's not a ton of value there. But I'm willing to take that risk for Bradley Beal because he's one of my favorite players.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. And that brings my total up to 2348. On to your 4th.
Yeah. So getting a little bit cheaper now because I'd used up a lot of my budget, but I'm going with a soccer guy, Florian Verts. He plays in the Bundesliga, and he actually tore his ACL two months ago, I believe. So it's kind of similar to the Kawhi Leonard situation where he's a very good player. He's only, I believe he's 19 or 20 years old. So I'm fairly confident he'll come back healthy. He'll look very similar to how he is, but a lot of his cards have dropped quite a bit. And he performed really well this past season. I'm expecting him to transfer at some point because he is on a smaller team right now, but I think he's going to come back next year, play well. He's already been called up to the German national team to play. Just a bright future for Germany with a bunch of their players. And yeah, I'm excited. I think now is the perfect time to scoop it up because, as we mentioned before, with injuries and everything. So yeah, that's definitely one of my picks. And he's a cheaper guy to pick up because he's so young. So ton of upside, and of course, there's a little bit of downside that his injury is prolonged or doesn't go well. But considering his age, I think he'll come back strong.
Betting on youth being on his side.
Yeah,
I like it. Now, Fati also has youth, and that dude's like what? On 2 non-existent knees.
oh yeah, that was bad. I don't even remember everything they did because he was out for a while, and I remember they were like it was all done, and then they had to go see another doctor and do a bunch of like stem cell stuff, and I was like, oh god, I hope this guy is able to walk when he's 30.
Yeah. So that's the thing where it's like you can bet on youth, but sometimes it just goes
Yeah,
downhill.
yeah,
And
course.
there's guys in baseball every year. Nick Senzel, one in particular, a center fielder for the Reds, top prospect. Dude just couldn't stay healthy year in, year out. Always injured. Finally healthy this year, actually. So we'll see. But I like this pick. I don't know anything about Florian Verts, but I do remember hearing him all the time. Aaron pulled a lot of him. I think Aaron pulled an orange of him at one
Yeah,
point out of Topps Chrome. So I like it. I get on board with that. And that's a solid price. I mean, cut in half by more than
yeah,
50% or
yeah.
50% drop or
That
whatever.
was the sale was actually the day before he tore his ACL. So that's like essentially what it could get up to, and especially if he transfers, it can go higher than that. So I think yeah, good pickup potentially.
So I might be going on eBay and looking for Florian Verts right after this. You've
Yeah.
got me convinced. And then Nick Foles says there's a third SlabStox member? Question mark.
Yes.
Well,
Hello. Aaron, Aaron was like, Julian, you're better for this type of stuff on the live stream. So I was like, sure, Aaron, if you want me to hop in, I can, but I don't want to encroach on your space, but he's like, go for it. So that's why I'm here.
that's what it is. Aaron has gone into early retirement. Julian has taken his place.
There you go.
All right, number 5 is a 2021 Panini 1 Travis Etienne Jr. And I am very curious. I really do want to hear people's thoughts on this one because this is like the most out there I got in terms of player and product. Panini 1 and Travis Etienne combination. That's a big risk. But hear me out here. So not only is it a number out of 5 rookie patch auto, but also the patch is absolutely insane. Like that
Sick.
is one of the coolest patches I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. It's insane.
And especially like you get the fangs of the Jaguar, just a little added bonus to getting the Jaguar on there. So I really liked it. I like a good rookie patch auto. I like buying injured players. Now, obviously, this is an injured player we have not seen play yet because Travis Etienne got drafted last year, instantly got injured, and has not played a down of NFL football. I'm taking a bet that he comes out and he's a good running back, and you have a sweet patch, rookie patch auto of a good running back in the NFL. I don't know anything else than that, but I'm willing to take that gamble here with 320 of these dollars. Not in real life, but in fake life, I'm willing to take the gamble because the patch is sick, and hopefully him, Trevor Lawrence, little combination should really highlight him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you mentioned that is a sick patch. And the ceiling's really high for that because like say he like comes out in his first like complete season and he performs well, that card is going to be a couple $1,000s at least. But I was actually so surprised they took him because I don't know how much Urban Meyer had to do with it and how he was running stuff over there, but I mean, I've had James Robinson on my fantasy team the past 2 years, and he's been a tank. So I'm hoping they can find a way for both of them to succeed. Because what did he did he tear his ACL? I don't remember what he did, but I'm assuming it was his ACL. So I'm hoping they've got two young backs. They got Trevor Lawrence, so hopefully they're building in the right direction after Urban Myers came through and kind of messed it up a little bit.
So he suffered a Liz Frank injury to his left foot.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, good pick. I think it's super sick, especially if he does well.
Yeah. I couldn't get over the patch. Like I was looking at a number of different guys. J.K. Dobbins, obviously, I'm kind of addicted to the idea of
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins. So I was looking for a non-quarterback type of player, and I saw this patch, and I have to put it in there. That's so nasty. And it's an on-card auto. All good things. Maybe he comes in and he's just flames out. Well, you have a sweet card.
There you go.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that. Sick patch and on card auto.
Yep. All right. Next up is Julian's 5th and 6th cards.
Yeah, I had to throw in the six. I had $50 left, but for my 5th card, I another soccer player, another German actually is Kareem Adeyemi from he's just signed with Borussia Dortmund. So my reasoning behind this one is Dortmund's known for their world class young players and developing young players. Now they don't really ever stay there past 2-3 years. You got Erling Haaland who just left, Jadon Sancho who left, so. I mean, everybody, all the top young players would love to play at Dortmund just for how well they develop their players. He's obviously not going to stay there. He's young. He's also 20 years old, I believe. I thought it was a super sick card as well, and I thought it was fairly cheap because there weren't like many other sales of it, and the ones that I could find they're around the same price. So I thought that this had a ton of room for growth, especially him going from a smaller team to Dortmund, and I really like him as a player too. So yeah, that's a little bit of my reasoning behind that one. And then with the $50, I had to pick up something from the greatest school on the face of the earth and get a TJ Watt auto. I have no idea how much those sell for, so don't take my advice on that one. More so on the Adeyemi. So if that card is worth like $20 and I bought it for 60, maybe not the best idea. I didn't do any research on it, but I thought it was kind of sick.
Well, I do like the Contenders Collegiate Autos. If you are a fan of the college, I have plenty of Kansas Jayhawk Contenders Collegiate Autos lying around my office because they get the school logo on there. They get the player in the school, in the jersey. It looks great. So I like that pick. TJ Watt also obviously has the added benefit of being the top defensive player in football, if not the top 3. So that is a nice little fun bonus. And then my 6th one here, and I have nothing to add on the Adeyemi. I will take your word for it. My 6th one here is 2, not 1, but 2. So that's why I have the same picture twice. 2019 Optic Zion Williamson Hollow PSA 9s for $152 a piece on May 14th, 2022 on auction. You can see here back in February 6, 2022, it sold on auction for $246. So obviously there is some room for growth because Zion didn't play this year, and that card was $100 more expensive at one point. And so for me, I'm saying to myself, all right, as long as he doesn't get injured in off-season workouts or injured in training camp or anything like that, I'm willing to take a couple of small gambles on Zion. And if he is healthy, I don't care about the injury history at all, because there are going to be people that will freak out as long as Zion's healthy and playing basketball, and they will completely look past the injury history and just say, oh, Zion's playing basketball, I have to get in right now. And so for me, these are 2 cards that sold in the same time span of not playing. One was $90 less than the other. I'm taking that gamble twice over to fill out the rest of my money. And then not only that, but I end the day at $29.73, which is a solid $14 more in my pocket than Julian.
Yeah, this is also, I think, a solid pick. Actually, no, terrible pick, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that it's a solid pick. So I think, like as you said, I mean, Zion's stuff was ridiculously high at one point, and a lot of it has dropped quite a bit. And he spent this entire year out. So you're hoping he doesn't get injured again. That's literally the only reason why. And when he's been on the court, he's been very good. And I feel like a lot of people have forgotten that with him being injured. He was an all-star, so he's a very good player. So if he can stay healthy, I mean, these cards would jump a ton as well. Of course, they're not going to get back up to what they were, but I mean, me personally, I would never buy like a super expensive Zion because that's a little bit too much of a gamble. But I think something like this is a great idea because the upside, I feel like the upside's a lot bigger than the downside because those like smaller cards can't drop like as much as I feel like they can go up. And I think he'll come back and be strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you agree. So let's recap. We'll recap mine first, and then we will recap Julian's. And then I asked the chat for some assistance in picking the winner here. So you have mine, my $2,973 spent, and you've got your Travis Etienne rookie patch auto with sick patch number /5. Your Bukayo Osaka Immaculate Rookie, number /99, PSA 9. Your Justin Herbert Prism Orange, PSA 9, number /249. Bradley Beal Rookie Gold Standard Patch Rookie Patch Auto, number /10. 2, not 1, but 2 Zion Williamson Optic Hollow PSA 9s. And then lastly, the Kawhi Leonard Rookie Contenders Auto BGS 9.5 with the BGS 9 auto. So either injury upside here or forgotten vet upside, whatever you want to call it. I believe I have some upside while also mitigating some risk with the type of talent I grabbed. And then Julian's is here, and he has the Lamar Jackson select gold rookie patch auto number /10 or number /5, number 10.
Yeah, 5.
5. Number /5, non-graded. The Donovan Mitchell, flawless auto numbered to
10.
10.
I believe, yeah.
The TJ Watt Contenders auto, Contenders Collegiate auto. The Contenders Premium Edition rookie auto of Tyrese Haliburton, which Premium Edition is not numbered, but it is short printed. The Kareem Adeyemi Merlin Atomic number /250 SGC 9.5, and the Florian Verts Topps Chrome Bundesliga purple number /250.
$299.
$299.
Close.
So these are your two options. If you guys have a chance, please let us know. Who do you think won this contest? I would like to know.
We got to see the comments here. We need to see how we did in your guys' eyes.
That's what we're waiting on. So, personally, I think we both did pretty well. Obviously, we did not actually spend any of this money. These are just cards that have sold within the last, 20 days.
Yeah.
That we saw and said, hey, actually, we like that price. Let's get that. But, I don't know. I guess nobody likes it. Not a soul.
We're not going to end the live stream until somebody comments.
You've heard it. Julian says one person, please. One single person comment.
Something. Yes. All right, we can end the live stream now. Julian 1, Nate 0.
No. Matthew says I would take Nate's besides Beal. He has a lot of upside for sales. Matthew, besides Beal, one kind of hurts my heart because I am a big Bradley Beal fan. Bradley Beal fan. But what are you gonna do? Tech says, which one can I have? Well, Tech, I have Bukayo Saka in there, so you should choose mine out of solidarity as Arsenal fans. So, and Pokey Day says, I'd take Nate's. That's 2-1, baby. 2-1.
Is there a third option? Wow, Bazooka Tom.
And
Wow.
Bazooka Tom, for the second time in 3 weeks, has me looking for the ban button. Shame, shame. Tom, I thought we were friends. Here he is. Well, for me, I like both of them. There's certain cards I like better than others in both. Like, I love the Tyrese Haliburton. I love the Florian Verts. And I can show my picks again. And for me, I am a big fan of the Saka and the Bradley Beal. And I do kind of like the Kawhi. I wasn't as big of a fan of Justin Herbert, but I wanted to get a Herbert. The Zions obviously have the risk, and the ETN is obviously like the biggest risk. But, so.
Aaron, type in the chat that I won.
Aaron. That is a Travis Etienne. But yes, it is nasty, which is why I chose it. That patch is amazing. It's an on-card auto. It's out of 5. We're talking injured running back coming back and playing this year. Injury upside. So, yeah, if that was Trevor Lawson, that would not fit. So, or Trevor Lawson, Trevor Lawrence. Man, I'm all over the place with my name mix-ups today. All right.
Thank you, Counterproof. I appreciate that.
So it's close, but I go with Julian. If I had to pick, I'm going Nate. I like it. And Pokey Day said, I don't know why I said Burrow, little orange messed me up. We understood what you meant. We understood. Well, I do think.
Yes.
I think Aaron just there's a badger on yours. Doesn't count. I do think with Aaron's pick, we just tied 3-3 there, Julian. So I think we'll end it on that.
Yeah. I mean, we can give you the win, but I'll take a tie too. I'll take a tie.
Yeah. And then lastly, this week, for everyone that is still here, we've got What's Brewing tomorrow or Wednesday. So that is where Aaron and I jump on Whatnot. We showcase a product. In this case, it will be Merlin Chrome.
Shout out Jack. Another vote.
Topps Chrome, Merlin Chrome. I can't remember. But supposedly 2021 Topps Chrome. We'll see you there. Jack, rescind your vote. And then we also pick a coffee and a beer. Aaron will pick a coffee. I'll pick a beer to showcase during it. So it's a fun time. It's a lighthearted time. And we give away a good amount of packs. We drink some beer. We drink some coffee. It's enjoyable. And then on Friday, Aaron has a Stranger Things season 4 debut. So Stranger Things season 4 comes out on Friday. There was an 8-minute opening scene that came out on YouTube the other day. So you can watch the first 8 minutes of episode 1 of season 4. It's very electric, very gory, kind of alarming. But I'm very excited for this upcoming season. So is Aaron. And so he's got 3 boxes of first edition Stranger Things cards that will be going up on Whatnot in correlation with the premiere of the first half of season 1. So that should be really fun too on Friday. Hope you guys are excited for that. I know I am. I'm definitely tuning in to both watch Stranger Things on Friday and also watch the Whatnot stream. And then lastly, Tech, can I send or recommend beer and or coffee? Of course, Tech. Of course you can. I don't know if okay, so it is Topps Merlin Chrome. I don't know if we'll have it around, but if you suggest some beer or some coffee, we can definitely look and see what we can get, especially on my end for beer. I don't know how easy it is to get coffee wherever, but I know that I've got a couple beer places here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin's beer capital of the world. So there should be a good chance that I should be able to find whatever beer you send my way. Other than that, Julian, any final words on your first live stream?
No, I mean, I had a lot of fun, Nate. This was a lot of fun. Maybe another time I'll hop on. I mean, if Aaron likes my expertise and wants me to replace him again, I mean, I'll always hop in. I mean, and talking with the chat, super fun. So thanks for welcoming me, guys. I feel super welcome.
Good, good. And yeah, the chat is always nice. The chat is always helpful. So, whoa, Matthew, the beer capital is not San Diego. Yeah, I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. San Diegans might think they live in the beer capital, but until you live in a place where there's like a bar on every corner, which is Wisconsin, you don't live in the beer capital of the world. With that, I say good night, everyone. Have a good rest of your Monday. Enjoy it. Enjoy the warm weather. And MLB Pipeline put Jordan Lawler 19th. That is what I need to cap off my Monday night. So thank you down on the farm. Love that. We just bought a Jordan Lawler green PSA 9 on the PWCC live stream last night for $1,000. So we're pumped about that. And everyone enjoy the rest of your week. Please tune in to Whatnot on Wednesday and Friday to share in these streams. And we'll talk to you again for the PWCC live stream on Sunday night, 8:45 p.m. Central Time. See you guys.
See you guys.